Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor Marie, and we are going to dive right into intimacy. Intimacy and how important intimacy is in your life, and how many times people settle with people that are not even compatible with themselves because we are not seeing ourselves to our true potentials. Okay, so we are going to go on this long journey together today. As you guys know, my name is Taylor Marie. I'm an intuitive and I'm here to help you. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of the things going on in your life, I want you guys to leave me a comment down below. We can get a quick little solution for you. Whenever we have some kind of obstacle in our life, it comes down to a lack of seeing ourselves to our fullest potentials, okay? And your fullest potentials come from seeing who you are at your core. That sounds a little fruity. It sounds really fruity, actually. What I'm saying is we can be so programmed to see ourselves in a limited version. I'm never going to be the person to find my soulmate or a very compatible person in this lifetime. I'm never going to see myself creating a big life. I'm never going to see myself having the finances that I want, feeling enough financially. And with all that being said, we are here to create big lives, but we can't do that from a limited state. Think about like me seeing myself as a little rat in the corner and then getting a really big life, okay? So me being a little rat in the corner, if I was to make a house with 27 rooms, that's a lot of rooms. But if I made my house with 27 rooms, but I still see myself as a little rat in the corner, I'm not gonna enjoy any of that. First of all, I'm gonna judge all of the things in the house because I'm judging myself as a little rat in the corner. And all of those things are just going to amplify the wound of me feeling this way. If I feel that I'm not enough, but I have this giant house, I'm going to feel like I'm not cleaning enough. I'm going to feel like I'm not maintaining all of the things enough. It's just an amplification of where we are. And those are things that we have to change at a core level before our life gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Think of if I was to give you like people that win a lottery, win $1 billion or whatever, $1 million, let's say $1 million. If they cannot hold on to $1 million, how are they going to continuously reproduce that, right? So what happens is people normally will win the lottery, or if they do win the lottery, they hold on to it for maybe 3 months and then it's all gone, and then they're in debt, they're going into bankruptcy, all of these things, because their nervous system, their core self is not used to creating a big thing. So when it comes to intimacy, that's a really big thing. Intimacy is a really big thing. And you might be like, it's okay, I can just watch what I want to watch on the internet and that'll be fine for me. Sure. That's also a settle in this lifetime. That's also you saying, I don't deserve. You deserve to have the partner that you were made for. Source, God, the creator, the designer, I like to call it the designer, made us perfectly for our partner. And there's usually 3 to 7 options in this lifetime. 3 to 7. So in that range, we have that many options of a person that is built for us in this lifetime. But if we don't see ourselves as built for this lifetime to overcome every obstacle, those people will not be an option for us, and we will have to settle. You didn't come here to settle. I didn't come here to settle. We came here to make really big lives. So when it comes to intimacy and the things that we can gain from intimacy, we are robbing ourselves of the better life by not trying to push our potentials forward toward that. And also, who doesn't want good intimacy? But there's so many people in this world that will slave away, that have this code written in their field, what we would call like just a code that's not great, a code that makes you work, that makes you labor over things that are not worth your time and energy. And they're written in our field, and so it's pushed out and then reflected back to us. So with that being said, there is some lights going on. It's so funny. There's like a light right here. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, intimacy is such an important part of our life, but we will settle and be like, okay, well, me and my partner, we're having intimacy like once a week. You are the source of everything. You're the source of fun. You are the source of enjoyment. You are the source of all of it. All of it. And the things that we don't accept about ourselves. So when I was little, I felt a lot of guilt, but I would never like tell myself that, right? I was just like, oh, hide away, rat in the corner. I feel guilty. Feel bad for me. I'm guilty. But I didn't express that. I didn't express the guilt. I didn't express any of it. It was stuck. It was stuck in my body. It was stuck in my body, so I couldn't express fully who I was. And now that I have a practice where I express all of these things about myself, it's reflected back to me in the way that other people just accept me. But it's not because I'm magical, okay? It's not because, well, we're all a little magical, but it's not because I'm different or that I'm built different in this way. We all have the ability to love ourselves for every aspect, but when we don't, those things are loud in our face. So what I'm saying about intimacy is a lot of people turn to quick fixes in order to feel. The one thing that you're going to want in this lifetime, which we should all strive for, is the best intimacy. How do you get the best intimacy is understanding reflections in every other area of your life. So there's 8. I've talked to you guys so much about this on the channel, but we have 8 areas of life. So when I'm not seeing myself to my highest potentials in physical, so maybe I'm not feeding my body the right nutrients, maybe I'm not working out my body in the right ways. When I don't see my potentials here in physical as the best, it'll reflect in another area that I'll actually pay attention to, so financial. If I don't see myself as the best of the best in physical, my financial, which I'm actually looking at, which I actually care about a little bit, will be like, you don't get any money. So it's never about attacking the physical and being like, it's not about attacking the financial and being like, I gotta go talk to somebody who knows stuff about debt and la la la. That may help, but the real problem is over in physical. So once we change the physical aspect, financial, all of a sudden money's coming in. Okay. So that's where intuition would come into play, because an intuitive will give you guidance around like where you are off in your approach, and then shifting whatever needs to be shifted here. Okay. So it's not that when there's no money coming in, we look at the no money coming in, it's the physical aspect, and we change that here. So with intimacy is all about a certain area of your life. And when we cut out different areas of your life, we will get that reflected, amplified times 1,000. And I've had so many situations in my life where I would cut out so many areas. I would cut out one of the 8 areas or multiple of the 8 areas and be like, those actually don't matter. Those actually I don't care about. When we should care about them, we should care and nurture every single 8 areas so that we can get to really big manifestations like amazing intimacy with somebody that your body and soul and heart was made for, which normally I keep getting clients, you guys, that are so much like me. And I think that is so cool that we always align ourselves with people that we are meant to help because we've gone through the trenches, where people lie to themselves and they're like, I'm not made for that person. That person is a red flag. We have great intimacy, great chemistry, but it only lasts a certain amount of time. The thing is higher self will put a carrot in front of the horse and be like, all right, you said you wanted a big life. Now this person's going to pull back and show you everything that you have in your field. So for me and my partner, I fought to have my partner in my life. I fought to have my partner in my life because of the limitations that I had. So for 5 years, your girl was just scraping her face on concrete because I had this beautiful human in my life, but he was being a little menace. And he was being a red flag. He wasn't choosing me, wasn't prioritizing me, not making plans with me, any of this. And then it was reflected to me. And I was just so hurt. I was literally sobbing on the floor, crying in my own tears and drooling and throwing up and screaming. That's what was happening because this person was showing me as a beautiful angel, beautiful messenger, I need to choose myself. I have a lot of things that I want to create in this lifetime, and there's a lot of people that might need help around the things that I know. So I need to show up as excellence. I need to show up as a leader. I need to show up as embodiment in order for that to get reflected into my field. Now, majority of the time, he's a little fruitcake. He's such a precious little guy, and is supportive in these ways because I've been that for myself. In my hardest moments, I had to sit here and be like, my name is Taylor. Taylor, I got you. I love you so much that I'll do anything for you. And now it's reflected back to me through him, right? We just amplify what's in our field, in our electromagnetic field. Think of everything that you put into your field as a code that is written, that is then pushed out and reflected. If I see myself as wildly supported, I will feel support all over the place. If I feel not supported, I'll have people coming in at me and being like, you're going to have to figure this out. It's all on you. La, la, la. When the reality is there's always a solution. Okay. We figured that out. There's always a solution, and there's always new levels of amplification that we can get to. But we don't want the amplification if we don't know what's going on at the core. Okay. So if you don't feel enough and then you start a business, nothing about that business is going to be enough. And you're going to be chaotic, going bananas all the time. And that is not what we're here for. So with that being said, intimacy is something that you should strive for in this lifetime to become the best at least in my opinion. I strive for the best intimacy with my partner, but then also bringing in a partner that is compatible with you. That is another level of mastery, of advanced situations where you'll have to show your colors and show people what you're made of, because it'll be the hardest thing, but the hardest things are always worth it. A lot of people are just given things in life, but they don't. You can compare yourself to people on the internet who have a lot of things, but it's very neutral to, like, it's very bland to them because they didn't have to fight for it. We like the work put in to gain it, because we respect it. If I don't have to work for it, I don't really want it, right? So although I've had to work really, 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 really hard on all of my intuitive situations in my life and all of the obstacles that I've been through, it makes my manifestations or my creations that much more substantial to me because I actually care. I actually strive to be the best because I've been at the opposite end. Anybody teaching on something has normally gone through the fire and is now on the other side of it, teaching it, but just understand that everything that they've created, they have energy behind. It's like the why statement. So there was a point in my life, I'll get really, really close and personal with you guys, where I was so celibate and I was like, this is the best thing because now I don't have to look at all of these problems. But my celibacy was creating a lot of issues in my life. And a lot of people will be like, if you're spiritual, then just be celibate. You are supposed to enjoy intimacy in this lifetime. It is a expander. It is all of these good things. And it will call about all of this new solution to your life. But if we're not enjoying intimacy or there's something off about it, what is the judgment? What is the reflection? And then how can we translate this into something going on internally? Okay. So with that being said, although we don't need the partner because we are the source of all the things, are you still by yourself enjoying intimacy? That is my question to you. If not, why? So for me, for the longest time, it was because I was cutting out areas of my life because I wasn't allowing myself pleasure, and that reflected into my intimate life where I wouldn't allow myself to be thought of as, there's a word coming to me. I'm trying to grab it from the air. As attractive. That was the word I was looking for. I wasn't seeing my life as attractive, and I was cutting out areas of my life to then pull in a partner who would see me the same way and reflect that back. There's nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly complete. It's really rich of me to say that, sometimes, and I don't really like to be like, you're great, you're complete, you're whatever. It's conscious, but your subconscious will be like, you don't feel enough over here, so we're going to amplify this. You don't feel enough over here, so your husband or wife is going to tell you this. It's rewriting those things with a belief. And that's what intuition does, is we have this field going on around us that pushes out codes. And with intuition, we can study it. We can see what's going on in your field, flip it, and then you get a different result, bigger manifestation. So anyway, I love you guys with my whole heart. I'll be here for the next 6 months, chit-chatting, talking with y'all. And if you guys have any questions for me about intimacy, about anything, toys, I love talking about that. Novels, I love a good smut novel. Love it here. If you guys have any questions whatsoever for me, let me know. But don't be afraid, because I'm going to give you a really hard answer and you're not going to like it. Hard in like a bad way, probably. So anyway, I love you guys with my whole heart, and I'll chat with you real soon. Bye. I love you.